In this audiobook summary, we invite you on a journey into a book that focuses on freeing people from one of the biggest obstacles in life, fear. Living Without Fear offers a realistic and thoughtful look at how anxiety shapes our choices, limits our confidence, and quietly holds us back from the life we truly want. Instead of ignoring fear, this book helps us understand it and learn how to move forward with courage. Fear does not always appear as panic or danger. Often, it shows up as doubt, hesitation, or the feeling that we are not good enough. Over time, these small fears can control big decisions, the job we choose, the chances we avoid, and the dreams we postpone. This book reminds us that fear is natural, but living under its control is not necessary. Throughout these chapters, we will explore simple ideas and practical tools that help us face our worries step by step. You will learn how to recognize anxious thoughts, build inner confidence, and take small actions even when you feel unsure. The goal is not to become fearless overnight, but to become stronger and calmer in the face of challenges. If you enjoy audiobook summaries that help you grow, gain confidence, and live with more courage, don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiring content. Now, let's begin the journey toward a life with more freedom and less fear. Chapter 1: Understanding Fear, the Hidden Enemy. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions a human being can experience. It is a natural reaction that helps us survive. When we face real danger, fear prepares our body to act quickly, either to protect ourselves or to escape. In this way, fear is not our enemy at all. It is a built-in alarm system designed to keep us safe. But the problem begins when this alarm keeps ringing even when there is no real danger. Fear often forms slowly inside us through experiences, memories, and learned beliefs. A bad moment in the past can turn into a long-lasting fear in the present. For example, if someone once failed while trying something new, they may begin to fear failure in every new situation. Over time, these small fears grow and shape how we see the world, even when the original event is long gone. Without realizing it, fear influences many of our daily decisions. It can stop us from speaking up, trying new opportunities, or trusting ourselves. We may say, "This is not for me," or "I'm not ready," when the real reason is fear of judgment or failure. These quiet decisions, repeated over time, can limit our growth and keep us living smaller lives than we are capable of. Society and environment also play a big role in building fear inside us. From a young age, we hear warnings, criticisms, and comparisons. We are told what is safe, what is risky, and what we should avoid. While some advice protects us, other messages plant unnecessary fears that follow us into adulthood. We start to doubt ourselves not because we failed, but because we were taught to be afraid. It is important to understand the difference between natural fear and imagined fear. Natural fear protects us from real harm, like touching fire or walking into danger. Imagined fear, however, is created by thoughts and worries about things that have not happened and may never happen. This type of fear often feels just as real, but it is built from what-if stories in our minds. When we begin to see fear clearly, it loses some of its power. Instead of letting it control our choices, we can pause and ask, is this fear protecting me, or is it just holding me back? This simple question helps us move from being controlled by fear to understanding it. And that understanding is the first step toward living with more courage and freedom. Chapter 2: The Roots of Anxiety. Why do we give in to it? Anxiety often begins quietly, like a small whisper in the back of the mind. It can come from many sources: work pressure, family expectations, financial worries, or the fear of not being good enough. These everyday concerns slowly build up, and before we realize it, they start shaping how we think and act. Anxiety is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it hides in overthinking, hesitation, or the constant need to be prepared for the worst. Our past experiences play a big role in how anxious we feel about the future. Painful memories, failures, rejection, or embarrassing moments can leave deep marks inside us. Even when we try to forget them, our minds remember. So when we face a new situation that feels similar, our brain sends a warning signal, trying to protect us from getting hurt again. The problem is that this protection often turns into fear, even when there is no real danger. Over time, anxiety can turn into a habit of negative thinking. Instead of asking, "What if things go well?" we start asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" This way of thinking becomes automatic. We imagine problems before they happen, and we convince ourselves that we are not ready, not capable, or not strong enough. These thoughts feel real, even though they are only possibilities, not facts. One reason anxiety feels so powerful is because of our hidden thoughts. These are beliefs we carry deep inside without noticing. Thoughts like "why always fail," "people will judge me," or "if I can't handle pressure" quietly influence our choices. We may not say them out loud, but they shape how we see the world. When we believe these thoughts, fear grows stronger and confidence becomes smaller. The good news is that once we recognize these hidden thoughts, we can begin to challenge them. We can ask simple questions: is this thought really true? What evidence do I have? Have I succeeded before? By bringing these thoughts into the light, they lose some of their power. Anxiety grows in silence, but it weakens when we face it with awareness and honesty. Understanding the roots of anxiety is the first step toward freedom. When we see where our fears come from, we stop blaming ourselves and start learning about ourselves. Instead of fighting anxiety with frustration, we respond with patience and curiosity. And little by little, we begin to replace fear-driven thoughts with balanced, realistic ones that give us strength instead of holding us back. Before we continue this audiobook, don't forget to support us with a like and subscribe. Chapter 3: Facing Fear, the Power of Small Steps. Big changes often feel scary because we imagine we must transform everything at once. We think we need to be brave, confident, and fully ready before we take action. But real change rarely works that way. It usually begins with one small step, a step so simple that it feels almost too easy. Small steps are powerful because they do not overwhelm us. They gently move us forward while teaching our mind that action is possible, even when fear is present. Fear tells us to wait. It says, "Not now, you're not ready," or "what if you fail?" If we listen to that voice every time, we stay stuck in the same place. The strategy of action despite fear means we do not wait for fear to disappear. Instead, we move forward while feeling it. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act anyway. Each time we do this, fear loses a little of its control over us. Avoidance makes fear grow stronger. The more we avoid something, the bigger and more dangerous it seems in our mind. But when we slowly face what scares us, we begin to see it differently. A conversation we were afraid to have becomes easier than we expected. A task we kept postponing turns out to be manageable. By facing things step by step, we teach our brain a new lesson: I can handle this. Small actions may look unimportant, but they create powerful momentum. Sending one email, making one phone call, or speaking up once in a meeting can change how we see ourselves. These small victories build confidence. They show us that we are not as powerless as fear made us believe. Over time, these tiny actions connect together and form real progress. Think of someone who is afraid of public speaking. They don't need to start with a big stage and a large audience. Their first step might be sharing an idea in a small group of friends. Then maybe speaking in a short meeting. Each step stretches their comfort zone a little more. What once felt impossible slowly becomes normal. This is how small changes lead to big results. Facing fear is not about dramatic moves or sudden transformations. It is about daily, quiet bravery. When you choose one small action instead of avoidance, you rewrite your story. Step by step, you move from being controlled by fear to becoming someone who faces life with strength. And over time, those small steps carry you much farther than you ever imagined. Chapter 4: Building Confidence, Creating Courage from Within. Confidence is not something people are born with. It is something they build, little by little, through their thoughts, actions, and habits. Many people believe confidence comes after success, but in reality, confidence often comes before it. It begins with a simple decision to believe that you are capable of growth, even if you are not perfect yet. This new mindset is stronger than fear because it focuses on possibility instead of danger. To build confidence, you must first change the way you speak to yourself. The voice inside your mind has great power. If it constantly says, "I can't do this" or "I'm not good enough," fear becomes stronger. But when you begin to replace those thoughts with "I am learning" or "I can improve," something shifts. You stop seeing yourself as weak and start seeing yourself as a work in progress. This kind, supportive inner voice becomes the foundation of real courage. Self-worth also plays an important role. When you value yourself, you treat your goals, time, and energy with more respect. You stop accepting situations that make you feel small, and you start making choices that support your growth. Confidence grows when you recognize that you deserve a better life, even if you still have fears. Believing in your value gives you the strength to try, fail, and try again without losing hope. Daily habits are powerful builders of confidence. Small routines like waking up on time, exercising, reading, or completing simple tasks send a strong message to your mind: "I can trust myself." Each time you keep a promise to yourself, your self-belief becomes stronger. These habits may look small from the outside, but inside, they are shaping a more disciplined and courageous version of you. Small achievements are also key to breaking big fears. When you complete a task you once avoided, you prove to yourself that fear does not control you anymore. Even a small win, like finishing a project, speaking up once, or trying something new, adds a brick to the wall of confidence. Over time, these bricks build a strong foundation that fear cannot easily shake. Building confidence is not about becoming fearless. It is about becoming stronger than your fears. Step by step, with kinder thoughts, better habits, and small victories, you create courage from within. And once that inner courage begins to grow, you will realize that you are capable of much more than fear ever allowed you to believe. Chapter 5: A Future Without Fear, Rewriting Your Story. Living without fear does not mean that fear disappears forever. It means you stop letting fear write the story of your life. For many years, fear may have been the voice that guided your choices, telling you to stay small, stay quiet, and stay safe. But now, you have the chance to take the pen back. You can begin to imagine a future built on courage, clarity, and self-trust instead of worry and doubt. Creating a new vision for your life starts with a simple but powerful question: what would I do if I was not afraid? This question opens the door to dreams you may have hidden for a long time. Maybe you want a new career, healthier relationships, or a deeper sense of purpose. When you allow yourself to dream without fear, you begin to see possibilities instead of limits. That vision becomes your direction, like a map guiding you forward. One important step in rewriting your story is letting go of other people's expectations. Many of our fears come from trying to please everyone or from worrying about being judged. But you cannot live a brave life if your decisions are controlled by other people's opinions. Learning to say, "This is my path," is an act of courage. It does not mean you stop caring about others, but it means you stop losing yourself in their expectations. With a clear vision and stronger self-belief, your decisions start to change. Instead of asking, "What feels safest?" you begin asking, "What moves me forward?" Brave decisions are not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes courage looks like applying for a job, having an honest conversation, or setting a healthy boundary. Each clear and brave choice sends a message to your mind: you are no longer ruled by fear. These principles can be applied to every part of your life. At work, you may take more initiative or explore opportunities you once avoided. In relationships, you may speak more honestly and choose connections that support your growth. In your personal goals, you may finally start the project, habit, or dream you have delayed for years. Step by step, your life begins to reflect the new story you are choosing to write. A future without fear is not a perfect life. It is a life where fear no longer has the final word. You will still feel uncertain sometimes, but you will move forward anyway. By choosing your own vision, releasing outside pressure, and acting with quiet courage each day, you become the author of a new story, one filled with strength, freedom, and the confidence to live the life you truly want. Conclusion: choosing a life beyond fear. Freedom from fear is not a quick journey or a one-time decision. It is a continuous path of awareness, learning, and courage. Each day gives you a new chance to notice your fears, understand them, and decide how you want to respond. Sometimes you will move forward with confidence, and other times you may take small, careful steps. Both are part of the same journey, and every step counts. This book reminds us that fear is not proof that we are weak. In fact, fear often shows us where we care the most and where growth is waiting. When you feel afraid, it can be a sign that you are standing at the edge of something important. Instead of running away, you can choose to pause, listen, and learn about yourself. In this way, fear becomes a teacher, not an enemy. With every action you take despite fear, you build a stronger and braver version of yourself. You start to trust that you can handle discomfort, uncertainty, and new challenges. Step by step, you move closer to the life you truly want, a life with more peace, more confidence, and more freedom. It will not be perfect, but it will be real, honest, and guided by your values instead of your worries. Always remember that change begins with you. It starts with one simple decision: not to let fear make your choices anymore. When you take back that power, even in small ways, you begin to shape a new future. A future where you act with courage, speak with honesty, and live with an open heart, a life with less fear, fewer limits, and far more possibility.